host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
The Gathering. The supernatural world can be a dark, intimidating, and scary place. We gather to shine light on the mysterious and misunderstood aspects of the paranormal world. We bring to the table years of experience as mediums, healing channels, and paranormal investigators. We share true stories from our experiences to dispel fear where we can and help you discover the amazing layers that make up the paranormal world. You are invited to gather around the metaphysical table with us and discuss the worlds of the unseen on the Gathering radio show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Gathering radio show right here on the Para X radio network. I am Stephanie, and my co-host Heidi is not here this evening. Something's happening in her front, so I have the show all by myself. But I've called in a couple of really awesome friends that just happen to be the co-hosts of our sibling show, The Calling 2.0. So welcome in, Jerry and Valentina. Yay!
Yay!
Hi, guys.
For us, we're so cool.
You are so cool. Well,
how's it going, Steph? You getting all geared up for vacay?
Yes.
Wow.
We have been, yeah, I'm trying. I haven't packed or anything yet, but there's just so much to do. Can I just say I love to go, but there's so much to do to prep. So yeah, hopefully we'll be ready by the time we leave on Thursday.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So how are you guys?
Good. We'll leave it at that.
Good. Uh-oh.
Yeah, she had a fun time on a radio show, and we'll talk about that on the Calling 2.0 when we talk about what are we? I can't remember what we haven't even made a name for it yet. It's just the evil people of radio.
Oh, the evil people of radio.
Yep.
Well, that wouldn't be me. So
no.
You're on the Santa's list.
Yeah. So it's been very smoggy here in the land of 10,000 lakes. Can I just say?
It's gross.
Yes.
It's like LA.
Yes. So when I went for a walk in the park today, it was just hanging over the trees, and it was like you could smell the fire, right? And it was kind of hard to breathe, even for me, So I'm hopeful that the southern wind moves it somewhere else, right? We don't want it anymore.
Down to Florida.
No, I don't think they'll get it. I think it'll go north.
Oh, it'll dissipate by the time it would get to Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? But it was a beautiful day today. Absolutely gorgeous. So all is well. So how about you guys? What is new in your world? What's the weather like down in Florida?
It's 98 to 99.
Oh!
When I get in the car, my car reads 103 to 104. So it's not healthy. I really have hardly been outside except my car is in a garage. So I just go straight in the garage, drive right back in. My exposure is very limited because I'm just really hating this weather. So.
Oh, yeah.
But isn't it like that all the time?
No, this is the hurricane season till November. So aside from the heat, it's thunderstorms and lightning and, hopefully some hurricanes because I like those. It's something different. As long as nobody gets hurt, I like a good wind. It's just nice because it's something different. But really the only nice months are maybe October to March. It's a very short-lived. I call it like a 9-month summer, basically.
Wow. I don't know if I could deal with that. I mean, Well,
It's
it's too
not
hot for me. I'm a fat person from Minnesota. Can I just say that? Oh, there's
Well,
not enough clothes to let me sweat out gallons every day.
well, my
Eh.
favorite temperature is 68 degrees. So I'm headed to the Pacific
crap.
Northwest where it will be 68 degrees and sunny almost every day. The
I'm
forecast
coming
looks
to that.
fabulous.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we'll
that
get
is-
we'll get a cool down, and I'm so excited for that. So, all right. Well, the subject of the hour is the new Calling 2.0. So tell us what is different with this new reboot of this show that's how old, Jerry?
Oh God, the show is like, well, doing the math and listening to Sarge, it is roughly like 10, 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Though we did radio as Minnesota Para Connection radio,
No,
MPC radio. What?
the coalition, wasn't it? Para Connection is our new team.
Yeah, Minnesota Para Connection was the team that we. Okay, why are you doing that?
Well, it was the Minnesota
it's
Paranormal Coalition.
That's right. Okay. Oh my God. Well, see, my tattoo has faded so much I can't even read the thing. Plus, it's upside down. Come on, folks. Give me a break.
Come on, let's get this straight.
God. Yeah. So poor V's like, what is going on here? Jerry's having a Tuesday meltdown. But anyway, no. So it was, I've had a lot of co-hosts and stuff, and a lot of good co-hosts, and I wanted something a little bit different, and V is different. I mean, that's a good thing, V. I'm not, you're my buddy. I love you dearly, and it's like I like the subjects that you want to talk about, and I think we get along pretty good. And you got that funny little accent. That's so cool. But no, it just the different type of topics and stuff, and the way we go about them is a lot different than what we had before. So it's not. I don't think it's the drab calling that it was. V.
Okay.
Your volume's not on, honey.
I think you're muted. I was wondering why we couldn't hear her. I don't know. Maybe we can't hear her at all.
Hello?
There
you are.
See, she does stuff like this. This is cool.
No, this is not true. I was trying to press the brighten button on the laptop and somehow, without glasses, mistakenly pressed the mute.
Oh, wow. That can be an issue.
Yes, but all right, here we are. So, what should we talk about today?
Oh, no, we were talking about the 2.0.
Yes.
I think you and even Steph had mentioned changing the name and going with the Calling 2.0. And it was like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do things a little different. Though I am so I love the our theme song, which is AC Slade, and
my buddy AC Slade. Yep.
Yep, and it's like that had to stay. I just can't change off to that one. So. But
AC
yeah,
gave that to you. So I haven't talked to AC. I keep thinking we should have him on the gathering, but. He's got such a mouth on him. He's got such a mouth on him.
He does. He does. Plus, he's got. I mean, he bought Catfight Coffee. Is that what it is?
Yes.
And he's doing a lot with the coffee.
He is.
And what else is he
on tour? I think he's on tour
right
now with Dope. I think.
Yep.
I'm not sure. But he's on tour with someone, either Dope or there was another one too that he was. He's a guitarist and a bassist. Casey and I got to know him when he played bass for Joan Jett, and we got to know him pretty well. So yeah, I kind of miss him. I think we need to get him on the show and just say no F-bombs, honey. But yeah, he's fun. I like that song. But But yeah, so V is on your show all the time. Now we had V on
Yep.
our show last, I don't know, was it last year? V, I
Almost.
can't remember.
Some time ago.
It
Long time.
was.
Feels like forever.
It was. And
Yeah.
we had such a good time. It was such a
Yeah.
fun show.
All I remember was there was a lot of laughing. I remember.
I know. I know. Our energy together is just a little bit crazy, I think. You know, poor Heidi was like, oh my God, stuff. But
Cool.
but it all worked. So last week, I got to say, so I listened in because the subject last week was supposed to be where do ghosts hang out? And you guys really didn't talk about that. So that might be a good topic for this show.
Hey, thank you for noticing that. Like 5 minutes till the end, I'm going, Jerry. You know, I sit here and I work on subjects for the whole week, and then I have it on there, and we never even covered it because Jerry just went off on a tangent. So thank you for realizing that we left people hanging.
But you know what? But it was a fun show anyway. It was a fun show anyway, and it's all good. But it's a good topic. So let's just spend a couple of minutes talking about where do you think ghosts hang out, V?
Oh, yeah, that is a good question. So it always kind of is laughable when people come to me and they're like, "Oh, I'm going over to the graveyard and the tombstones and the cemetery." I'm like, "Yeah, think about it. Dead people want to be where there's life and energy and laughter and fun, you know, stuff, birthday parties. They don't want to be at musty old tombstones with dead flowers and, you know, things that people every now and then come and visit. That's not. I'm always baffled when, you know, you see this footage of a ghost walking through a cemetery because, I mean, maybe they were on the way to a party. I don't know, but it doesn't seem to me like he was going to sit and hang out there. So I definitely feel that they are wherever there's living energy. And we made a joke about, I told Jerry, why are they always in the closet? Why are they depicted in movies in the closet, under the bed, you know, basements, attics? And we realized that the commonality was that it's always dark there. They maybe they like the dark places, you know. So that's what we were thinking about. It's not like they hang out in the TV room much or the pool room, but they tend to make a home and just kind of jump out of dark spaces.
Mm-hmm. Jerry, where do you think they hang out?
Well, I agree with her too. You know, I think that places that's near energy but not interacting energy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that they don't have to spend none. So attics, basements, you know, places like that, because they could come and take whatever that they want, you know. Pools now and such. Now, water does have you know, we found in a lot of the cases that we've done that water has been a good, what's the word I'm looking for, Steph?
Conduit.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good conduit. Yeah.
Yep.
Brings with it a lot of paranormal energy.
Exactly. We've run into some places like that, and you know, it's it can be anywhere, and some too. I mean, could just hang out with people, and it could be some people, such as like they had an addiction problem when they were alive, and they kind of suck with someone to catch that same energy and vibe and everything, to live off that. Smoking's a hard habit.
Yeah.
Even when you're dead, you know, a lot of people claim that it's a hard habit to break. Drugs, just all sorts of things that can you know, can really keep an entity, a ghost, you know, spirit, whatever you want to call them, close. And also to caring. Caring's a big thing. They don't want to let go. You know, that's my opinion. What's your opinion, V? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think I covered it, but we were also kind of looking for locations. Like, I mean, you pointed out more what the ghosts are attracted to, which I agree. But are there any locations that you found that I didn't cover, maybe that you've seen, aside from water, is there somewhere else that?
Right. Well, I think also too, because we've done a lot of abandoned houses, and everything. And as a matter of fact, we will be doing a. I can't tell you guys exactly where it is and stuff, but an abandoned
Hotel.
motel. Yep, along with an abandoned room for rent type place. So could there be something there? There could be. It could be the memories of that place and why they hang around. Plus, too, the people that were living in this motel and stuff were the type that could have had a lot of addictions and everything.
Yeah.
Now that they've been removed, it's tough sometimes to, like even us, we live in a place for so long and everything, and then it's like, rent's too high, you need to move someplace else, but you decide to pay the rent because you don't want to move, you don't want to go to another place. I'm going through that right now. But if anybody needs a roommate, I'm up for you.
I think another spot where I've encountered a lot of spirits are the woods, are the deep woods. As Squatchers, we run into a lot of paranormal activity out there.
What do you think they're doing out there?
Well, I think a lot of them are native spirits. I saw an apparition of one in full buckskin gear, from probably a century or two ago. And he wasn't scary. He just kind of went like this, like, hi, welcome to the woods, or what, you know what I mean? That's how I but, but I wasn't scared at all. It was like, he appeared like, you're welcome here, whatever. But there is a lot. And, during COVID, because we Squatchers were out in the woods almost every weekend during COVID, because there was just nothing else to do. Right. And so we were constantly out in the woods. And there were we ran into so many spirits and so many vortexes and so much going on out there, much more so than now. And I think because there were so many deaths occurring that veil was just rent right open, and they were just everywhere. What are your thoughts about that, Bea?
The question is spirits in the woods, or because you covered a lot.
Yeah, no, about during COVID, and there was I feel like they were everywhere,
Yeah, let me rewind on those horrible 2 years.
Right.
I mean, there was definitely, the death toll was immeasurable, pretty much. So it just seemed like every time you turn around, every minute somebody was dying. So maybe the accumulation of that death energy, something to get, it was definitely, and you know how once you get this vibration going in the world, then it kind of ripples out and the whole world feels it, whether they want to or not, like fear. So with death, I feel like, there was a lot more. I don't know if it ramped up the ghost activity because I was home pretty much I was doing something, but so I wasn't really doing paranormal stuff. I was busy sewing masks for everyone, but I really wasn't in a paranormal state of mind, probably more like a paranoid state of mind. I mean, it's hard to think, let's go ghost hunting right now. The world is happening. So I wasn't there in that mindset, but it's interesting to listen to you who had access to the woods to be able to go and just check in and see what the stats was.
Well, I mean, they were everywhere. And, there's 4 of us on Squatchers, and we're all paranormal investigators, and we're all intuitives. And, I mean, Josie would walk ahead of us and say, Steph, come here, what do you see? And and I said, oh, yeah, it's kind of, first of all, there were a lot of vortexes. There were like a lot of openings out there. it was very interesting. Nothing scary, just surprising, I guess is what I'll say.
Right.
And so we were out there looking for Bigfoot or Dogman or whatever, and what we found was a lot of spirits. So it was kind of an amazing time, actually.
How fun.
Yeah.
Way to go.
But I think my thought on where do ghosts hang out is I think they kind of just, if they're tethered here, and they haven't crossed over, I just think they kind of float around, right? And they go from place to place. And if something's happening that they're interested in, they're there. Like, for example, last week, Heidi and I on the show, before the show, we were at her studio and we did a seance. And because of what she does there, she's a Reiki master. She does seances there quite often, and it's a safe spot. It's a safe harbor for spirits. And we did have a lot of activity. And talk about like addictions. One of the spirits that visited us was somebody who she had put out trigger items, and one of them was a bottle of tequila and a pack of cigarettes. And this guy wanted his tequila and wanted his cigarettes, and he was bellied up to that bar, and it was quite amazing, So I just think they're kind of opportunistic too, some of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if they miss, like Jerry said, if they miss some of the things that they used to do, whether it's gambling, dancing, they're going to hang out there. And even if they cannot participate, they're kind of living vicariously through us, and they're invisibly watching us because they can, and taking pleasure in that. And I don't blame them. We probably all are going to do the same thing,
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And also, if I may, like when you guys go out into the woods stuff, talking with some Native American people that are really into the belief of spirits and stuff still walking the earth, their big thing is that a lot of people had died out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bodies that have not been dug up.
Right.
They were buried there and stuff. So they may still be walking the earth.
Absolutely.
And it's that's it's interesting and it's sad at the same time.
It is.
But
I agree.
hold on, it's sad on the Christian part of it or the Wiccan part of it, but not on the Native part, because that's what they were. That's what they wanted to do. This was their land, so to go and walk and to see places and stuff, that's a big place for them.
Yeah, and that's true. So, yeah, I just feel like, May is saying she thinks that bars are a big place for spirits. We know that, Jerry. That's how Sim got its start, was Stashu's in Northeast Minneapolis, because we had all seen the spirits and talked to the spirits, and that's how ghost hunting began for us, or paranormal investigation.
I still have to say that really blows me away. The first time we went there, we weren't even a team. And here we're getting a photo of a woman in the window on the second floor, and getting our first EVP of this guy, Brad, saying it's over, Jerry.
Well, and it was
a
class A EVP.
Yeah,
the other thing.
You didn't have to do nothing to it. It was
their
just
first
there.
time outs gets all this evidence. I mean, crazy talk.
Hooked after that.
Right? It was
exactly.
like, oh, we knew we had to keep doing it then.
Just like a fish.
Fish to water.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
It was
well,
nuts.
All right. So you two have let's just do a plug for your show tomorrow night, because we have a few minutes before the half hour, but you have a big celebrity on the show tomorrow night. So do you want to tell us who it is?
V, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, fine.
It's
oh
my God.
It's Shane Pittman from, where is he from, Vivi? And
28 Days Haunted.
Yep. And he's been an actor, a director, He's done all sorts of stuff, paranormal investigator, and he's very excited about coming on. And I'm excited to talk with him and to see what he has to say about, when he first started and what his beliefs are and how it all started for him, in the paranormal world. Did he believe in ghosts? Did he not? Parents involved. And that's one thing. It seems like a lot of people that we've had on and we've talked to people about how they, what they, how they first started and everything, and in their family, it was always from the grandmother's side. V, have you ever noticed that?
Have I noticed it? Not.
Yeah.
I have not. Yeah, I mean, people always ask me, do I come from a long line of psychics or whatever? And it's like, no, I'm the only one. So personally, I cannot have any experience of that, but I have not noticed that it's from the grandmother's side. Maybe there's something there with grandmothers being more in tune, or witches, or I don't know.
Yeah, or just not afraid to say it, where others might be just a little bit to be afraid to say, yes, I believe in ghosts. I seen one once when I was skinning a
maybe because grandmother is like busy cooking in the kitchen and she's home and she's going to the attic and the basement, and grandpa is out working in the fields. So maybe grandmother just had more time with the house and the ghosties, and so maybe she just happened to catch things more than grandpa.
Yeah, that's true. That could be.
Well, and I also think that intuitiveness runs in families too, right? So my family on both sides were very intuitive and, saw ghosts all the time, spirits. And Jerry, I think yours did too, right? Or was it just your mom's side? I don't remember.
It was mom's side, but yet, okay, this is weird, is that my uncle, the one that got killed by his son, my cousin, anyway, a long time ago when I lived at his place in Bemidji, and he slept in the bedroom that was upstairs with his wife, and I was in the hall, sort of like your brother was hall boy in the hall. But anyway,
hall boy.
He got up one night and he went downstairs, and I heard him talking to someone, and then all of a sudden, I heard him get water and stuff, and he ran upstairs. And I said, what's the matter? And he said, your grandfather was just there. Grandpa had died. I was like, how old was I? I was maybe 8 or 10 years old. I was spending the night over there. And we both went down there, and here the water was still running a little bit, and there was a glass. He claims that Grandpa was there thanking him for keeping the house and everything, and opened up the door, took a glass out, filled it with water, took a drink, and then put the glass down. And that's when he come flying upstairs, because he said, I never even got into the kitchen. I just stepped off the steps. And he wasn't gone for very long. I remember that. It was just too weird. So, I don't know. I think Grandpa had a lot to do with certain things, and Grandma, she's a little nutty. She's the one that liked the smell of pledge, so she used it in her hair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine that?
She always smelled lemony fresh.
Oh my God. What if she used it for moisturizer?
I don't want to know. Probably bacon grease.
It's nice. Wow.
Well, and V, so my heritage is Norwegian. I know you're from Denmark, right?
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
And my grandma and her sisters were all very, one of her sisters lived in this big old duplex in Lower Northeast. And when I was a kid, we'd go over there and she'd constantly talk about how she talked to the spirits upstairs. She talked to them all the time, and at the time I was really young, I was like 4, and I'm like, oh, But, my mom and grandma were like, oh, yeah, they're there, and I'm like, oh, so it was very open in my family. And my dad was the same way on the Powers side of the family. So that came down on the Irish side of the family. But interesting. It's very interesting what we see and how it runs in families. I think several of the people in our chat room are talking about, where it's coming from. I think it's Melissa is talking about, for me, it's on her paternal grandma's side, and Chloe girl is talking about her paternal grandmother came to her in a dream one night before several of her children passed, never talked, just smiled. And the last time it happened, she said, "Hi, darling, you are beautiful." And later at the funeral, this lady I didn't know said, "Hi, darling, you're beautiful." That's interesting.
Yeah, what a that is like a message coming through someone else. So she used her for the grandmother came through and used that living person to give the same message. It is amazing.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we have to go to commercial break because we've already blown through 31 minutes. So everyone stay with us. This is the Gathering Radio Show right here on the ParaX Radio Network. Tonight, Heidi is off, but I have Jerry and V with the Calling 2.0 radio show, which is our sibling radio show, with us tonight. And for those of you who don't know the history, the Gathering grew out of the Calling radio show all those years ago. And Jerry, I think it was was it 2014 or 2015? I always get mixed up on that.
I think it was 2014 is when I gave birth. Yeah.
Right. Because we started in January, and at first you used to have 2-hour shows, and then at first you wanted us to take over like the last half of the last Wednesday of every month, because it was on Wednesdays then. And so we did that for, I don't know, a year or two, and then we decided to go full blown and do it every week. So then we are on a different night now, but that's why we call the Calling 2.0 our sibling show, because we're siblings. So for those of you who didn't know that information, there you have it. So we've been talking about where do ghosts hang out. We've been talking about intuitiveness and how it runs in families. And now I guess one of the things that we were talking about, because as V said, this was your subject for the Calling last week, and it was never talked about. But one of the places where ghosts hang out that we've found too is that a lot of times they're attached to things, to former possessions. And so if you go to like a place where they sell secondhand items or antiques, a lot of times you'll find that there's a spirit attached to something. V, do you agree?
The jury is out on this one. It's not that I don't agree or disagree. I mean, I've seen enough videos. Apparently dolls and teddy bears and toys are the favorites. Fire trucks. I do believe in it. When I go to antique shops, I usually just am so caught up in the smell of it that I don't even I can't even be bothered with the items. And then I think sometimes it's just maybe I want to buy everything. I love antiques and little interesting weird things. So I usually just end up looking. So I don't know, but friends that collect doll things, and they all keep them in cases. So that tells me nothing was going on. You do not need to keep them in a case. You could just put them up on the shelf. So obviously, if you've got a doll with sage, the Bible, a rosary, and 3 locks, something is going on.
Goodness.
Yeah. So I mean, I would love to buy something on. Always sit and put a camera on it 24 hours a day and be very disappointed if nothing happens. Right. So I personally have not had anything, so I'm boring.
We when it comes to dolls, I just can't do dolls. I don't, me and dolls just don't see eye to eye. They're just such we just had a thing happen at work. Okay, I got to tell you guys this. So last week when I was working, it was on a Thursday, and I get to work store 2, and I took my break, and I was feeling out of sorts. There was something that was just going on that I couldn't tell you what it was, And after break, I went on out and I said to Kate, one of the girls that worked there at the liquor store, I said, "So, does it feel odd in here tonight?" And she goes, "Well, maybe because of all the construction going on, we're not having a lot of people." I said, "Well, maybe that's it." I said, "I just something just doesn't feel right." And she goes, "Oh, well, I don't know." So then Kelly, another girl, we went in back, we were getting shooters and stuff. All of a sudden, she gets terrified look. She points and she screams, "What the F is that? What the F is that? What the F is that?" And I mean, she's just, and I look up, there's this doll. This doll was put into store 3 to scare the manager. It is a haunted doll because it was put in my Jeep by one of the team members of Sim, and I just don't touch them. It was always in the box, and I gave it to this one guy who was going to prank the manager there, and I totally forgot about it. So it's sitting there, and she's freaking out. She goes, "Well, you do this kind of stuff all the time. Get rid of that." And I said, "I'm not touching it. What are you, nuts? I'm not going to touch that." And then after that, she wouldn't go in the back room. She took a break outside, smoking 5 or 10 cigarettes before she came in and everything, because it really did a number on her. So the next day, I went in and I seen my boss, Tim, and I said, "You nasty little cuss." I said, "Why did you bring that stupid doll over there to store 2? He goes, "I didn't bring it over there." I said, "It's over there in store 2. I said, "I called Brian. He said he didn't do it." And then he walks back there and he looks up and he points up and stuff. He says, "It's gone." I said, "I know. You or Brian had to put it over there because I don't know anybody else with a disgusting sense of humor over a haunted doll." I said, "I would never touch it." "No, it wasn't me." And I thought, okay. So I go to get on work and I'm signing in and everything and I'm helping some people. And he had left, and Marae, this one lady we were working together, and I turned around to turn off the radio, and there is that nasty little doll, and I almost touched it. I screamed, Marae screamed, the customer, this one woman, she screamed too. It's like, I just hate them, and none of us would touch it. Finally, Marae hit it over the head with a bottle of tequila to knock it into a bag, and then wrapped it up and everything and stapled it shut and put it for the boss. And she wouldn't even look at it, and neither would I. I wouldn't look at it whatsoever. And so I went into the cooler and I was putting some stuff away. And as you can see on my arm here, I've got a nasty cut on my arm. And that's because there's a new IPA that we have. And when I was putting it on there, or putting it up there, I didn't notice that it had a crazy looking doll on the cover. And it scared me so bad that I jumped up and hit the side of the rail and cut my arm really good.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
and you're a paranormal investigator.
Yeah, and you're a skeptic at that too.
I'm not, yes.
I am a skeptic.
I know.
But not when it comes to dolls.
Jerry, you're at work. It's a liquor store. It's no big deal.
Well, when you got drunk little baby haunted dolls running around, yeah, it's a big deal, V.
Oh my God. Well,
by myself.
Well, if anything, it made for a great story, right?
I would probably burn the bottle she hit the doll with too, because that's haunted too.
Right,
Well,
right.
she kept it out. It was funny because I think she was thinking about that this bottle touched that, so she left it out until someone bought it.
Yeah, give it to your least favorite customer.
There you go. Because you just never know. Yeah.
Exactly. But oh my God, it's so funny.
Well,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, I was just gonna say I do, I have experienced a lot of objects with attachments, and we just did the Sim Crew. We just did an investigation of an antiques, and they have new things there too, but they're vintage and antiques. And there were a couple of experiences that I had that the investigator that I was investigating with, because we split up in teams, we almost spoke the same thing at the same time, and this one had to do with a headboard, Jerry. And then when you came back, I had you come and see what you thought too, because you were kind of just
Yep.
roving around on your own.
Yep. I was roaming around on my own and stuff.
Yeah.
And I went up to that headboard, and I remember touching it on the left side, and then my hand started going up, and then when I got on the right side, then I could feel it. And right when I was going to say something, that's when you said, Stephanie, I feel something right there. And yeah, and then I felt like there was a child right there.
Mhm.
And I even said, there must be another piece here. And there was.
Yeah,
It was a
because we all said the same
mirror.
thing. Yeah, we had said that before you got there. Yeah.
Yep. If you don't mind, Steffi, I got to ask you, V, what do you think of mirrors? Are they bad, good? They're okay? No. Look at her fingers go.
No. So most people don't notice, but when clients come to the house, they're like, do you have TVs in your house? I'm like, yeah, they're under the covers. Every one of my TVs in the house is covered with a blanket. And they're like, why would that happen? I said, I have this weird theory that the TV is watching me. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, we stare at this thing. How do we not know that this thing is staring back at us? I know it's a little wacky, but again, it's a reflective surface, and I do not like, like most people, my TV is at the foot of the bed. I watch TV in bed, and if I accidentally fall asleep, I wake up in the middle of the night knowing I didn't cover it, and I will run over and cover the television. It's good. I mean, dolls, clowns, I'm okay, but I have to cover my televisions. Now, the mirrors are a lot bigger, so I don't cover the mirrors. But I feel like any reflective surface, for some reason, primarily TVs. I mean, mirrors also can be portals, as they say. They can, because they're capturing images, kind of like a camera. Windows, any glassy reflective surface has that ability to capture, images, photography. So it could be a portal, but I just really feel like the TV watches me at night. So that's my thing.
I never thought about that before, but yeah, mirrors. I only have one big mirror in my whole house, and it's in the bathroom, and that's it. I don't have any other mirrors.
Yeah.
I think, and we've asked this question, Jerry, on Paranormal Investigations. I think it was Josie. Was it Josie or somebody asked, do you travel through mirrors? And the answer was a clear yes. And that was at the Humbird, remember?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we have caught things in mirrors, which is why I always take pictures of mirrors.
Yeah. Yes.
And there was that one that I caught in that same place. I took up several pictures, boom, boom, boom. It was like a long floor. What do you call those when it's your whole body length mirror? It was in the bathroom, but it also reflected. You could see the upper floor and down the hallway and stuff. And clearly in one of the images was some kind of spirit walking behind me through,
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think there's something to it, and I just don't like them. Like I said, I have the big mirror in the bathroom, and that's it. Other than, maybe a few small makeup mirrors, but that's it.
Right. Yeah, definitely those big, when I stayed at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, I was supposed to get the most haunted room, but then when I got there, they gave it up, and I was like, "You promised me."
Yeah.
So they made, it's like, how could you give it away? So they made it up and gave me a really nice, super big suite in the corner facing the Rocky Mountains. But the first thing I get in the room, and those old-fashioned oval mirrors, you can kind of flip it. Well, I got in the room and I'm like, woo! They sent up champagne because they made a mistake. And I thought, this would be great. I'm going to take a bath. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know about that mirror in the corner. And I unpacked it. I'm like, I need to flip the mirror around. I just cannot. There's just something. I've seen way too many movies with something coming in that mirror, or you look and there's some creature behind you. So I just thought, you know what, this is so stupid and nobody has to know, but I'm turning this mirror around.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. I don't like mirrors. And in that particular inn, there were a million mirrors everywhere.
And they're bouncing off each other, portal upon portal upon portal.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, they were like, and big, old, ornate, gold leafed mirrors everywhere. They were so ugly. I just hate them. I was just like, oh my God, get rid of these mirrors, but it was part of the decor. I get it.
Speaking of mirrors, Stephanie took a picture of a mirror from somewhere. I can't remember where it was. And she goes, do you see this? I see faces. And I said, no, that's matrixing. That's pareidolia. Yeah. And she's like, you do that all the time. You keep saying that stuff. You never ever say there's anything there. I said, well, I can't. It doesn't look like that. It's just, the streaks and all that other stuff,
I get it. And if we would have had experience, here's what I like to do when we're paranormal investigating is I like the layers. So if you have an experience and something would have happened, like maybe in a mirror, you saw something. Yeah. Nothing happened there. I was just taking pictures of mirrors, but I thought I saw some people in there. But I don't know. Nobody else. I got rid of it, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I do have to say, remember the Hopkins house stuff?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The Hopkins house, I tell you.
That was an oval near, too.
Yep. This place was incredible. We did, 3 hours in this room that was 160 degrees, it felt like. It was May, myself, and George. Or Katie, myself, and George. And EVP sessions, we tried everything, nothing. So at the end, when we were walking away, I said, well, thank you very much. That was a waste of time. And we left. Now, Katie was downstairs, and there's this mirror that she was so attracted to for some reason. And she kept staring at it. And Casey took a picture of Katie from the side looking at the mirror and stuff, and the whatever was in the mirror, when we zoom in on it, it looks demonic.
Yeah, it does.
It's just weird. And a lot of people were saying, well, that's just a reflection of your daughter. No, and besides that, if you said my daughter looked like a demon, she would beat you within inches of your life.
It was in a different spot, but that was where the woman that called us there, we called her the pot smoking, beer drinking witch mama because she was drinking beer and smoking pot. She asked me if I wanted to have some pot. I mean, it was just, she was crazy, and there was a lot of crazy stuff going on there. A lot of it she created herself.
Yeah, so, she did.
But whatever. It was an interesting case. It was one of our very first cases. It's interesting that the cases that we had at first, we really got rolled through the mud.
Right. So let me finish this. When I said that about well, thank you very much and stuff. When we were going through the evidence on that, on the very last part, when I said that, this voice of it sounds like two women saying at the same time, leave us respect. And it was like, it went right through me when I heard that. And I thought, I got to start watching my mouth now, But that, I still have that EVP. It's one of the best EVPs that we had in a long time. Response EVPs,
Right.
That was crazy.
Respect EVPs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so cool, man.
They were like feminist ghosts. No.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. You know, it was just so far. It's funny. The paranormal world, a lot of people stay away from because they think that they're going to go to hell for it or something like that. But it's amazing. I mean, I have a lot of respect that Stephanie going out there in the woods looking for Bigfoot. And V, I have a ton of respect for you for what you do to help people. It's amazing. And I have to say that all my team members and even some teams that I know and stuff, they're out there and they're trying to find answers. Do I think that we're going to get punished for this when we die and go to the other side? No, we're not. It's
For it. For
what's
being
that?
curious. We're going to get praised for it, for being curious and, pushing the envelope and not just settling for whatever is and always delving deeper.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
Totally agree. But there is some people out there that make light or make not really light of, but try to do things to say they got the best and stuff, and they're making fun of it by doing that, but yet they think that it's making them look number one. And that's why I have a lot of problems with some of the most of the YouTube videos out there. Because there's this channel, I wish I could find it. It's a de-hoaxing channel, and the guy spends his time looking at different videos to see if he can debunk it or not. And a lot of them he has. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a lot of, especially in the Bigfoot world, I think there's a lot of hoaxes out there. Well, we know there is, and we still argue back and forth about the Patterson Gimlin film, because
fake.
My co-hosts on He Said, She Said are firm believers in that Patterson Gimlin film, and we go back and forth on this all the time. So, because I'm not really, but yet I have heard some interesting accounts from people who claim to be there. So,
Yep.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Have you ever seen that film, V?
Yeah, of course I have. I just didn't know it was called the Patterson. I saw the picture. I think my Bigfoot book. I mean, the latest thing I believe just because I watch the way things move, and I watch people's reactions, and that tone if something's real or fake, or animal acting. So that's how I know you can't fake. You can't put strings or photoshopping. Some things are just very natural, But the latest I saw, I forgot it may have been Benson, but they took part. They deconstructed the video and said that they could see the musculature in the calves and the legs, and for that reason, there's absolutely no way you can fake that in a fursuit. So they fully said that it's real. And I was like, okay, good. We can lay that to rest. I thought it was real, but the fact that you saw musculature in the calves and things like that makes sense. I mean, honestly, to me, you have to think about the timeline of when that was created. They did. I mean, yes, there was Star Wars and Chewbacca, but I don't think people were really running around at that time in suits filming videos. That, as much as there's Hollywood, I don't think this was something people were setting out to fake and then try to say it was real. So to me, I believe in the video.
Right. Have you seen it in the colorized?
Have you seen it in IMAX?
I've seen it. I mean, did I say seated it? I did.
I don't know what you said.
What a moron.
but V, you have to understand that Patterson was a Hollywood producer or cinematographer or something. I could be wrong. He did something with Hollywood, and he was in the filming industry. So he had the ability to fake something like that. I'm not saying it is or not. I'm just saying there's a lot of questionable things for me on that film, but then again, at the same time, I have always said, if we were out there watchers, and we saw Bigfoot, and he was right there, and we got a film of it. There's going to be a million people who say you faked it, and that's not real. So could it be real? Absolutely. I guess only they know if it's real or not, you know, and whatever. It started the conversation about Bigfoot. So it has done a fabulous job of that.
Well, and even regardless of whether that video was faked or not, it does not hide the fact that Bigfoot is real, and there is enough real footage and eyewitness. So who gives a damn if it's faked or not?
It's true.
You know, right? I mean, the fact of at the end of the day is that he's still real, you know.
Yes.
So this guy maybe opened up our eyes to it, and we're more on the lookout,
That's
and now we actually get to see the real thing. It really doesn't matter because it's Bigfoot still real.
I agree. Oh.
So
I'll just
so there we go.
I'll just sit here and go. Okay.
Oh my. All right. Well, you guys, we have about 1 minute left, really, of talk time. So, is there where can people find you? Where can people find the Calling 2.0?
Actually, on YouTube, the Calling 2.0 radio show. Please watch our videos. We do audio, and then we can do the video. The video's put on the next day, and we would love it if you would like, share, and subscribe.
Oh, and there's the music. So thank you too for coming on the show tonight. This was so fun. We'll have to redo it sometime when Heidi can join us. But yeah, so thanks for joining our show. And
have a good day. Just throw that in there. Are you a vacay?
Yes, I will for sure. And everyone, thank you for listening. And thank you to Sarge, the world's greatest producer, who, wow, we couldn't do this without him. And thank you to all of the troops who may be listening, and please be safe. Thanks, everyone, and make it a fabulous week. Good night.
Good night.